Gonna shock you.
If you smell what the rock.
Oh, recording live from two. Count them 2 locations. I moved my hand off the button.
This is Past the Rest.
Is that super loud?
No, it's fine.
Forgot to test that one pre-show. Anyways, I am. And as always, I'm joined by the great Caesar, aka LCs.
What it do, y'all? It's your boy, ready to talk about every single game of the preseason week 1. We're going snap by snap analysis.
Interesting you say ready, since we're both wearing red, apparently, today.
Sure.
Which I guess means I should just throw this up there, and that'll be our red episode.
We're the Red Rangers of this episode.
Yeah, so just another hot ass week here.
It's morphine time.
I think we got like 1 or 2 more of these super hot weeks before it really cools down, and then it's actually.
I hope so.
I say really cools down. I mean like 90.
You mean 95, really?
Might as well be 90.
So yesterday, man, I was caught by surprise at work. I know this is a sports podcast, but we can do some slice of life stuff from time to time. Boss man catches me, sitting at my desk, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna be doing some outdoor training today." I'm like, "What?" Now, it was still not in the hundreds at the time that he said this, but it sure hit into the hundreds in the middle of training. Okay, we're out in this hot sun, and they have me on a fucking boom lift. For those of you who don't know what a boom lift is, it's a machine that will put you 30 plus feet in the air, so you can work on shit in the air. I have a fear of heights, and as our friend of the show, Jesus, can attest, if we can ever actually get him on the show, I have quit a job before because of heights. So yeah, I was 40 feet in the air. Well, I was maybe like 30 feet in the air, actually. Still way too high for me. Had me doing that. Yeah, something like that. Not that exact model, but very close. They had me on that. They had me on something called a SkyTrack, and that is a big ass fucking forklift. I'm not even forklift certified. I don't have that certification. I don't know why they had me in that thing. But let me tell you, I think I spent like 4.5 hours in the sun yesterday. Not fun.
No, what's funny is, so I do work in it's like a part office, part warehouse situation, and so obviously it's hot throughout both, because even with the air conditioner in the office, there's still just doors that go to a warehouse that's going to outside, so it's probably low 80s or something like that.
I've been to your office before. It's
my dumb ass, working, getting hot and sweaty, and then I'm like, oh, I need a cigarette, and just go stand in the sun, in the concrete. No, but I do sometimes have to scale those the outside shelves, and sometimes we'll do it with a forklift, with just me standing on a pallet and someone raising that up. Sometimes I just climb it. It kind of depends on what's going on. But anyways,
no, I don't think OSHA would be too happy with that.
I'm a certified climber. It's all right. It doesn't happen near as often as it did the first few years. I'm split. Sometimes it's just come on. But anyways, I guess we'll start with baseball, since that is the one thing currently happening. Where's my button for that? Why did I lose all my buttons?
It is baseball time in Texas.
Do we have some good news?
Well, we're gonna start league wide. So they had their Field of Dreams game in Iowa, and ratings wise, it didn't do very well compared to the previous ones. I don't know. I'm not sure what the future of that is. It's a cool concept, but I don't know if they're willing to just keep pumping money into it for it to not return any. But we'll see. It's a cool idea in general. It's a great movie. I mean, there's some crazy stuff about it, but it's still a fun, good time. Nice summertime baseball watch. I don't know if you've ever seen Field of Dreams.
On TV when I was a child.
All right, that's fair enough. It's got like one of the best moments in movies for me when James Earl Jones gives a big speech about baseball. And they used to play that at the old Ranger Stadium back in the day all the time. It was fun and inspiring, and it's James Earl Jones, so everything he says sounds cool as hell. So that happened. Also this week. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm trying to also measure the delay that I'm on because I know I am.
Sure.
That's why my name's on delay. But yeah, but it's funny that he's been in 2 prominent baseball films. You have Field of Dreams, and then you have God, what's the other one? Which one?
Sandlot. The Sandlot.
Yes. Yes, Sandlot.
Yeah.
Sandlot. Yeah. Coincidence? I think not.
Kevin Costner's been in like 4 of them as the lead role, so I think he actually has like the mark on it, but because he's the lead in that, he's the lead in Bull Durham. I feel like maybe one more, maybe it's only 3. I don't know. But anyways, that happened. But then we did also get an MLB first whenever the Cardinals, was it Josh? Yeah, Josh Baez. He hit 3 home runs in his first 3 at bats in his debut. And then his 4th at bat, he still almost hit a home run. He rocked a really low pitch pretty far. It was a road game in Chicago, and that's a pretty big rivalry. But even their fans gave him a standing ovation after his failed bid to go 4 for 4 with 4 home runs in his debut. Uh-oh. I might have a frozen Caesar. Nope, he's back to moving.
Nope. I'm back.
So those are the 2
This is
league-wide,
gonna be fun.
the 2 league-wide stories I think that mattered. As far as the Rangers go, they're still just right in the thick of things, but still terrible most days. Right around 500. Not a lot of change.
Okay.
Which means
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it!
yeah. So this week in basketball, mostly just drama with the ownership of the Los Angeles teams. You got
So much
We're not-
drama. Listen, man, it's crazy. It's the fact that investigative journalism is getting booed right now. It's insane, but we're here for it. I love the mess that's happening with the Clippers. Not so much with the Lakers, but I just don't care about the Lakers.
Yeah, both interesting stories, to say the least. We got the report from ESPN earlier in the week that, well, our week, which runs Wednesday to Wednesday, basically, that the ESPN reporting that the Clippers are basically going to get off pretty much scot-free in the Kawhi Leonard investigation. The NBA a few hours later saying that story wasn't factual. So who knows? But maybe that means they're actually close to being done looking at it, and they'll say something before the season starts, hopefully. But we're not gonna dive.
The Clippers are gonna get a. I'm just gonna say the Clippers. The NBA. They're like, oh man, we did our own investigation. We found nothing wrong. Of course you didn't, NBA. Of course you didn't. It's like when they asked the CIA saying they found no evidence of them tampering with other countries. Sure, buddy. Listen. We know, the Clippers did it. All right? You just don't want to face that backlash because who knows how many other teams are doing this. So,
I I mean, you had the people, especially around here, are going to point to the Mark Cuban funding Dirk's movie, and Dirk somehow making a lot of money on that little documentary. I haven't seen it, so I can't say. I imagine it's very good, but that is a funny thing that people do like to point to in these parts.
Listen, I'm all for paying your players under the table. All right, fuck it. If you can do it, but own it when you get caught. I'm just saying, don't be a coward.
And that's the funniest thing is he has already been caught for this, however many 4 years ago or whatever it was, and took a little $250,000 fine, and everybody moved on.
Until Pablo decided to poke his head further.
He's done a good job of not he's been careful, I feel like, in a good way while still pushing the issue, which is nice to see. And then hopefully, and I would expect that we will eventually get multiple videos on whatever is happening with the Lakers ownership. As it stands right now, the team is owned by Mike Walter, the guy who also owns the Dodgers and a bunch of other nonsense. He's under some type of investigation about fraud. People don't think he has a ton of actual money, and he lied about it. So he tries to sell the Lakers to Bob Iger of Disney, or formerly of Disney. I don't know if he's still there. And the other Kushner, which I think we talked about this a little bit last week, right? And then
yes.
And then the further drama ensues between the Buss family trust and the siblings, and they say they voted to sell. Jeannie Buss says they don't have the right to do that on paper, and so we'll have to wait and see what someone in some court decides.
Yeah, with that, I'm with Jeannie here. I'm rocking with Jeannie. Fuck that. Your fucking siblings who were never put in charge by the old great doctor, trying to push their weight around. I'm like, listen, you should be happy that you get any sort of cut of the Lakers already, right? So just how about know your place? Don't try to strong arm your sister out of this, okay? But that's neither here nor there. I won't elaborate further into why I feel this way, but yeah, just know, Jeannie, I'm on your side. If you need a sugar baby, I'm right here.
Isn't she married to Jay Moore?
Hell if I know.
I'm pretty sure. Or at least she was. And if I remember correctly, they owned like two different basically penthouses on separate floors, and they just both each have one, and I thought that always sounded like a nice setup.
Yeah. I mean, I'm for it. That sounds like a good. If you can get it, you can get it, If you got it, get it.
That'll pretty much wrap up basketball. Again, it's just a bunch of dudes talking on podcasts. There's some games happening around, like pickup style and training and stuff like that, but nothing to really talk about. James Harden re-signed with the Cavs. I guess that's the big actual basketball news this week. That
doesn't move me. Listen, Harden does nothing, Like what are you gonna win with him? Nothing. He doesn't show up in the playoffs. He's a regular season merchant. I don't know. That's all I got on him.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up the hoops, which means I can do
this. It's surprising that you can find at least two quarterbacks who have worn the number 4 have dick pics out on the internet.
And that's our transition into football.
Oh man, what a great transition that is. Listen, everybody. I know that you were all roused up by my basketball commentary, but it's a big bag of nothing over there right now outside of ownership talk. Let's talk about what's really happening. Like I said, snap by snap analysis of the preseason. The starters looked rusty. The backups looked bad.
Actual hell.
Yeah. And that's it. That is it. That's all that's happening. If you care about drama, which I don't know, some of you bitches out there, you're messy. You love the drama of the NFL. You love to chat about it, tweet about it. I don't blame you. Sometimes it can be kind of entertaining, and other times when it affects your own team, like me personally, you're sick of it. For example, there was a big hullabaloo, if you will, about Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown hadn't talked since the trade to the Patriots happened. Oh, boo-hoo. Sometimes you don't talk to your best friend for months at a time when you're no longer in the same city or, working the same jobs. Life happens. But you know what? You pick up where you left off. And A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, they picked up where they left off, being very performative in front of the cameras. They know the cameras are there. They know people are talking. They are both very professional in that, you know what? We'll just quell the all the noise from the media about us not having spoken, which I know for the A.J. Brown haters out there, they're like, oh, that's rich coming from him. He's in a new environment, so he's trying to be on his best behavior. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, he knows the game. He played the game. He studied from Nick Saban. All right, he knows what he needs to do. Go over there, make nice, let the media like, oh, looks like they talked about it. Now there's no longer a story, and that's it. You keep it chugging, you keep it moving, and yeah, hopefully that's the last time I ever have to talk about A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts in the same story for at least another couple years.
So don't say that. You might want it to be a Super Bowl headline or something.
Sure, yeah. As a Super Bowl headline, fine. I would love that. Because I would love to see the Patriots get crushed again, right? And then the Patriots fans can be reminded of what a championship winning quarterback looks like when Jalen Hurts takes the field and their bum Drake May chokes again. But anyway, neither here nor there. Lastly, on this, Vita Vea, not on this, but lastly, in the world of like actual news, Vita Vea is staying with the Bucs for one more year on a $30 million extension. All right. Says what every player who gets paid by the team says when they get paid. I want to stay here. I want to retire here. Sure, buddy. Listen, you got paid a lot of money. I'm sure that was part of the contract extension that you had to say that you wanted to retire a Buck. Other than that, I mean, hey, you like fights, Patrick? You like training camp fights? Because Cowboys had one.
I think everyone's had one at this point.
Yeah, but this one ended with Jalen Thompson of the Dallas Cowboys getting German suplexed by a Saints player. I don't remember his name, but his dad, I believe, was Scott Steiner, former WCW wrestler, former WWE wrestler of the Steiner brothers. So I don't actually remember what their real last name was, but other than that, not too much is happening in the preseason. There's some egregious use of rookies, egregious use of starters. Looking at you, Giants, just Ron Jackson dart out there so he can die on the field. That's responsible. And yeah, that's all we got in the preseason, y'all. But don't you worry, NFL fans at home who watch this show and look forward to the NFL segment. When the season comes, that NFL segment is going to be 2 hours of just me talking nonstop about football because there's so much shit to talk about during the actual season. So you will get your content one way or another. But for everybody else, the real degenerates, the real sickos, if you will, who tune in to every summer Pass the Rock episode. I know what you're here for. You know what you want. You want some Fight Club. You'll get it after we address these technical difficulties. I really hope that Patrick edits that out.
I tried to do something and it didn't work. I didn't think about it in time. So let's see what this does. Fight Club. This is our Fight Club. This is our Fight Club. 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 Fight Club.
Fight Club. All right. So, I'm assuming we didn't have the graphics ready, which is fine. Or
graphics,
the video, the Soul Calibur intro.
Didn't go with the video this week.
No worries.
Why I forgot to do a song intro.
You know what? No worries. So, listen, everybody at home. Today, we are focused solely on the AFC. All right? We're starting with 16 teams this week. By the end of this episode, we'll get down to 8, where we will focus next week on the NFC. But for now, let's see these AFC matchups. We got Robert Saleh, D'Amico Ryans.
Here, let's do the good one.
You got the good graphic? All right. We have Andy Reid with Justin Fields, Joe Brady with Kyle Allen. And then in the next matchup, we have Patrick.
Sorry, I have to remember which order they went in. I forgot what team he coaches. This one.
Oh, there we go. Sean Payton with Jarrett Stidham. Aaron Glenn with Cade Klubnik. And then in our third fight today, Robert Saleh, Mitchell Trubisky. What happened to Will Levis? Are we subbing him out?
I don't know. That's what ESPN told me today because I forgot who it was.
Well, you know what? We'll just say Will Levis got subbed out for Mitch Trubisky. This may not go in the favor of Robert Saleh against Fat Mike and racist mustache Mason Rudolph. And then lastly, Zach Taylor with Joe Flacco versus D'Amico Ryans and Davis Mills. All right. You know what, Patrick? Let's do dealer's choice here. You're the dealer. Which fight do you want to get started with first?
Let's just run it in reverse. I think this will be a fun one. The Bengals versus Texans fight.
All righty. Zach Taylor and Joe Flacco versus Davis Mills, D'Amico Ryans. Let's get it. You know what? If I'll kick things off on this fight right here. Both coaches meet at center field, shake hands, and Zach Taylor, being the nervous-looking guy that he is, he might look tough. He might try to act tough, rather. Sorry, he does not look tough. But when he's staring at the eyes of former All-Pro linebacker D'Amico Ryans, and he shakes that man's big, strong hand, you can just feel the sweat start to come out of his pores on his forehead. He's getting all clammy. D'Amico Ryans brings him up, whispers in his ear is, "I'm going to kill you. So line this shit up right now." Backs away with a smile. Zach Taylor, with piss running down his leg, goes for that cheap swing. Whew! D'Amico Ryans tackles him onto the ground, and we are getting started. Now we're going to cut to the QBs here. Davis Mills, Joe Flacco stare at each other. Joe Flacco, tall, calm, cool, collected, looks at Davis Mills and is disgusted by what he sees. All right. Sees a backup who has no business standing across from him, trying to challenge him to a fight. Joe Flacco, even though Davis Mills, is not the shortest guy in the world. I believe he's like standing at 6'3", somewhere around 225 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, out of Stanford. 6'4", 225 pounds. So he's only standing about 2 inches. It's almost negligible. But that reach, it really helps Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco throws out a quick jab, I say quick. These guys aren't very fast. Either one. Both statues in the pocket. Both statues when moving around. So you just see like, ugh. And then Davis Mills like, ugh. Both slowly going around. The one thing that Joe Flacco can do very fast is throw a fucking football. Right? That's like a laser. So what he does is he does the old wily veteran move, and he throws pocket sand right into the eyes of Davis Mills, and then just chucks a football that he grabbed out of thin air right into the nutsack of Davis Mills. Davis Mills, though, was prepared. He was ready. He had a cup, so that shit bounces right off his crotch, but back into the hands of Joe Flacco, who then rockets that shit right into Davis Mills' eye. Pop! Davis Mills now has a football stuck into his skull, and Joe Flacco goes for the wah. 1, 2, 3. Pop! Davis Mills knocked out. But then what's happening with the coaches? Well, with piss running down his leg, Zach Taylor has been beaten to an absolute pulp. As D'Amico Ryans has been hammering just forearms right into the jaw of poor Zach Taylor. Joe Burrow is watching from the audience, just doing one of these, asking D'Amico Ryans to kill his head coach, which he kindly obliges. As D'Amico Ryans just takes that man and his soul. So now we're in an interesting situation. Davis Mills, the backup QB for the Texans, out of commission. Then we have Joe Flacco, a player who's gone up against D'Amico Ryans. They were in the league around the same time. So what happens now? Well, unfortunately for good old Joe Flacco, when the linebacker sees a QB in the hole, chances are that linebacker is going to win, especially if it's former All-Pro linebacker D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico Ryans charges right into Joe Flacco, who cannot escape. He's never been able to truly escape the blitz, and this time he sure as hell can't escape this one. D'Amico Ryans uses his bald head as a battering ram, right into the solar plexus of Joe Cool. Joe Cool out of breath. And then what happens next? Well, Joe Flacco grabs a helmet and just bashes the head of Joe Flacco. D'Amico Ryans, in my scenario, advances. Patrick?
Violent.
Oh, so violent.
Okay, I still sound all right.
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Okay. So I'll just pull it back up because it's fun to look at them. Oh, where'd they go? There they are. That's not that. There they are. Okay. So it's halftime and it's Bengals Texans. Neither team's probably going anywhere this year. So for the halftime show, they're like, "Fuck it, we'll do the fight now." So they mostly cleared the field. And Davis Mills kind of wanders out there by himself to no fanfare. And he's just kind of standing out there looking around. And then both coaches emerge from the tunnels after they've just given their halftime speech to their team. And Joe Brady and D'Amico Ryans, they lock eyes and just kind of like knowingly acknowledge, all right, it's time. They're gentlemen about it. And Davis Mills just kind of standing in the center of the field when out of nowhere a football just comes in, clocks him across the side of the head, puts him down, but not out. He gets back up. He's kind of shaking. He's looking around. And then another one comes in, hits him at the side of the knee, and just goes clean through the knee, separating the lower and upper legs at the knee, just completely separate, just snapped. So he immediately collapses to the ground. And D'Amico Ryans kind of starts darting his eyes around the stadium, trying to figure out where where those are coming from, and he looks at his quarterback in midfield and is like, "Well, I better get started." So he just dead sprints, which causes Zach Taylor to kind of shocked, and then he's also like, "Oh, I guess I gotta fucking run out there now too." D'Amico Ryans meets him probably about like 2/3 of the way before they meet, because he got a pretty big head start, and just immediate takedown, punches to the face. And then all of a sudden, one of those footballs comes whizzing by his head, but it misses, and he stops, and he's looking, trying to figure out where it came from. And then Zach Taylor slams up, bloody face to face, just smashes D'Amico Ryans' face with a headbutt, which causes Ryans to stumble back. And then another football, and this one takes out D'Amico Ryans' left leg. Pretty similar to the way Davis Mills did, but it's not a clean break. It's still just hanging there. And so now D'Amico Ryans and Davis Mills don't really legitimately have use of their legs at this point. And they crawl together into center field, hugging each other. And they say their goodbyes.
Jesus Christ.
And out of mercy, Joe Flacco allows them to live, but they forfeit the fight.
So we have a tie.
We do.
All right. Well, looks like we're going to need to call upon Bethke to make a video and tell us.
Forcing him to work.
It's like, hey, man, you can't let this 2-hour time difference keep you from doing what we pay you to do. We don't actually pay you, but you know, we're paying you.
All right.
All right. Well, anyway, I am going to say this. I am very shocked and almost appalled, really, that you would have Zach Taylor have a win over D'Amico Ryans. Now, granted, you had Joe Flacco do all the heavy lifting there, for sure. But I'm gonna say, I'm almost a little disappointed, almost, but not really, because it was brutal, it was machine-like, and I'm all for this. So, fuck it, we ball, as they say. Well, we have one matchup that is undecided. You will find out the results next week. But in the meantime, let's kick things off with the next fight. What's that next graphic? El Capitan.
Fight.
Should be right here. Should be right there. There we go. Oh, wait, nope.
Let's go this one.
Oh, it's Big Red. Andy Reid with Justin Fields. And then No Chin Joe Brady and just generic white guy number 77, Kyle Allen. Let's get it on! All right. So, this time, Patrick, I feel like you're on a hot streak. I think, Patrick, you should take this one. So, I know the focus of the camera is on me. Just so you know, Patrick, I also can't see you on the bottom of my screen at all. So, if you're signing anything to me, I can't tell. All right. Well, either way, looks like
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
We're back. I was signing to you.
Yeah, like I will show you a photo of what my screen looks like on your end.
I just didn't realize that for a second. All right, so Chiefs and Bills. That's what we're doing, right?
Yes, sir.
So this one, I think I don't even know how. I don't remember how Joe Brady or Kyle Allen even got here. If I'm being totally honest with you, who the hell did Joe Brady beat Mike Vrabel, huh?
Yep.
All right. Unanimously, might I add. But that's okay.
Remember, there's always shenanigans involved, all right? Always shenanigans.
So Joe Brady and Kyle Allen, it's post game. The Chiefs have just just scraped one out 24-21 over the Bills. It was a pretty fun game. Nothing crazy, just a half decent football game. And the the coaches go to shake hands in midfield, and Joe Brady's like, "See you in the playoffs." And Andy Reid's like, "I don't think so, bud." And then he's gonna pull him in and headbutt him, kind of like Zinedine Zidane, but actually just like right to the face, and just Brady's immediately down. Kyle Allen, he sees that from about 20 yards away. He starts sprinting in to take care of his coach, when out of nowhere, Justin Fields blindside tackles him, completely perpendicular, just takes him off his feet, and they go tumbling a different direction. Andy Reid just sits on Joe Brady's chest and watches as Justin Fields just mercilessly pummels Kyle Allen to a pulp. And then when Joe Brady can't breathe anymore, he's gone, and Andy Reid wins.
Lovely. I like that. I like where your head's at there. So let me expand upon the strengths of our combatants here. And by combatants, I'm really talking about Andy Reid and Justin Fields. Because you see, Justin Fields brings the lightning, and Andy Reid brings the thunder. All right? This is a speed back, power back situation. Joe Brady, Kyle Allen, they don't really bring anything to the table. Neither size nor explosive athleticism that just boggles the human mind once put into context of, comparatively to a normal human being. If anything, Kyle Allen is just a normal guy playing football in the NFL. Or rather, he was a normal guy playing football in the NFL till he made it to this round of the Fight Club. Because you see, audience at home, this is what ends up happening. Joe Brady heated with his team losing to the Chiefs. The Bills can't seem to get one over on the Chiefs when it matters the most. All right, because this is in the playoffs. Playoffs? The Bills made the playoffs? They did. Barely, but they did. And the Chiefs, they barely made it as well. But they're somehow here facing each other. The Chiefs walking away victorious in a playoff game and possibly a head coach fight club. Well, Joe Brady goes to shake the hand of Andy Reid, but Andy Reid, he hungers for more. He's a bloodthirsty walrus man. And those tusks that came out in his first fight, they come back out yet again. Joe Brady just in fear for his life. It's like, oh shit, it's Fight Club time? It is. And all Andy Reid can say is, you like cheese with your burger? Ha! Chomps that man's head clean off. All right? Well, not clean off. The skull, rather, of Joe Brady is stuck in one of the tusks, and it won't come out. And so there you have Patrick Mahomes on one side trying to just... And then you see Travis Kelce... They're trying to pull it down. Really, at this point, it's really stuck in there. So you see a lot of the team still trying to help out old Andy Reid there. Kyle Allen, he's shocked. He's horrified. And he wants to run away. He's like, what? No, shit. They just ate my coach. Just ate my coach. And so he goes to book it. Right? He's like, I didn't want to be in this. I just wanted to be a backup quarterback, collect a couple paydays, and maybe play a game or two. Fuck, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't the life that I dreamt for myself as a QB in the NFL. And then you just hear this whisper right in his ear. You're not the only one. He turns around. He's like, what was that? What was that? And wind starts swirling around the stadium. Just you just see like little flashes of lightning here, little flashes of lightning there. And all you hear is yet another whisper in the ear. Just saying, nothing personal, my guy. And the next thing you know, like a scene from The Boys, an A-Train, poof! Justin Fields runs right through it. He's exploded. He's dead as hell. And the Chiefs, Andy Reid, Justin Fields, they advance to the next round of the Fight Club. Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, Andy Reid.
Man, Justin Fields, you're doing great. You know, you're not on the official stat book here, but you're having a hell of a performance. Safe to say, maybe you should consider never being a starter again.
All right, time for fight 3.
Robert Saleh with a new tag team partner, Mitchell Trubisky, going up against Fat Mike and Mason Rudolph. Now, for those of you at home, you're like, well, hey, you guys already talked about this. What's the canonical, what's the kayfabe reason for Will Levis not being here? Will Levis tripped on a banana peel, hurt himself, and is frozen and stuck in the surrender cobra pose. So Mitchell Trubisky had to come off the bench for the other bench guy, and now he's in a fight for his life, potentially, with Robert Saleh up against Fat Mike and Mason Rudolph. All right, so Patrick, does this match inspire you? Do you want to go first? Do you want to go second?
I am good either way.
All right. You know what? I feel like I'm on a hot streak here, so I'll take this one. And then it's like a snake. It's like a snake draft, right? All right. Fat Mike, Robert Saleh. You look at this. Fat Mike, he's a big, sturdy guy. All right. But Robert Saleh, he has a lot to prove. Not just as a head coach, but as a combatant on the Fight Club. Because on one hand, he's built. He's a built motherfucker for a head coach. Especially one who I don't believe was a former pro himself. So you can see the soul of a fighter in his eyes. There's a rage inside of him for how his career has gone as a head coach. To go into the just with a mistake. And you know who doesn't make mistakes with taking coaching jobs? It's Fat Mike, right? Took the Green Bay job, had some success there, went to the Dallas Cowboys, and you know what? They do what they do best. Fail. But not in the regular season. So now he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He doesn't have a lot of talent. He looks at his backup, he's like Mason Rudolph, like, well, yeah. We won that last one. Oof, yeah, it was a tough one. Mason, just keep the bench warm for Aaron. Oof. Man, why am I so out of breath? And Mason Rudolph is like, well, that's how you always are, coach. I've seen your press conferences. Like, it's fine. It's just Robert. Holy shit, it's Robert. And there, Robert Saleh, with machine-like precision, punches a hole right in the stomach of Fat Mike. Pulls it out. And yet that hole filled with a lot of fat. A lot of layers of fat. And you can just see that he didn't really get too far in there. Robert Saleh shakes off all the fat and grease from that Pittsburgh diet that Fat Mike likes to consume or likes to partake in. Dusts off the knuckles and you're like, all right, I see we're in for a long day. Bring it on, coach. Fat Mike, out of breath, takes a bite of a sandwich, spits it out for whatever reason. Wasteful guy. It's like, all right, bring it on, punk. And then you see the two coaches just start throwing haymakers. And meanwhile, you see Mitch Trubisky, you see Mason Rudolph. They're just looking. Neither one of them truly prepared for the bright lights of this round of the Fight Club here in the knockout rounds. Mason Rudolph tries to goad Mitchell Trubisky by saying a slur to him, but it didn't work because complexion matches. And he looks at Mason Rudolph. He's like, that doesn't work on me. Like, yeah. Sorry, they just scrambled my brains whenever I was talking to Myles. And he was cut off from his sentence as Mitchell Trubisky pulls a Myles Garrett and makes clean contact with the skull of Mason Rudolph, who takes the helmet hit right to the dome, knocking him clean the fuck out. He is out of the fight. But we see Robert Saleh and you see Mike McCarthy. Robert Saleh, listen, he may be fit, he may be strong, and he may have a warrior spirit, but there is a lot of blubber to get through with Fat Mike. And he's starting to get worn down. Now they're both breathing heavy. Mike McCarthy's default is a heavy breathing. But Saleh, he is sweating through. And he looks at his tag team partner. He's like, Mitch, I need you, Mitch. Help me win this one. And I'm not calling Will ever again. He's like, Coach, I know you don't mean that, but I got you. Mitch Trubisky runs in the diving crossbody at Fat Mike. Fat Mike grabs him. Bah! And then World's Strongest Slam. If you don't know what that is, just look up Mark Hennig World's Strongest Slam. You know what it's going to feel like for a 300-plus pound man to just throw you onto the ground and land belly first on you. Okay? Back to the fight. Boom! And like an anime character who just got punched really hard, the spit and blood just comes out of the mouth in slow motion out of Mitch. But that's the distraction that Saleh needed. Saleh grabs the helmet that was used to kill Mason Rudolph and just bashes the back of the head of Fat Mike. Fat Mike doesn't have the blubber up there. That's just regular skin and bone. Boom. Oh shit. What? And he's like, yeah, I learned my lesson. Gotta go for the head. Slow motion. You just see the helmet make contact with the cheek of Fat Mike. Just Fat Mike falls back down, squishes Mitch Trubisky, exploding his skull. But in the same process, Robert Saleh comes out victorious as Fat Mike is unable to stand. Thank you for stopping by, Fat Mike. But Robert Saleh got the best of you in my scenario.
All right. That was fun. And I just want to pull it up again because I like to look at it. Boom. All right. So this one, okay. This is gonna be a post game. They wait till everyone clears. They just want a nice, clean field. They just want to, they're businessmen. They want to get this over with and done. So Saleh is in the locker room and he's like looking at Levis and he's just like, no, not again. So he says, Mitch, you're with me. And they head out. And when they get to midfield, they see McCarthy and Rudolph out there. And they're both at least 4 light beers deep. They're getting going. They're getting ready. Rudolph's just wearing like a bucket hat. And he's got like, it's not really a Tommy Bahama shirt, but it's definitely like some kind of fisherman shirt. Like, this guy's just ready to go fishing. And they're just sitting there laughing, joking. And Saleh and Trubisky get up there, and Saleh's like, hey, we got to do this fight tonight, right? And Mike's like, oh, yeah. And then he just keeps talking to Rudolph. And so Saleh just kind of turns and looks at Trubisky. He's like, I don't know what we do here. And Mike tosses both of them a beer. He's like, why don't we could just settle this some other way. It don't have to be a fight. It should be a contest. And so he challenges them to a drinking contest. and they go for a long time, hours. And McCarthy and Rudolph, they're ahead by quite a bit. They're just destroying Saleh and Trubisky in this beer drinking contest. It's not looking good. And McCarthy and Rudolph are like, they're pretty confident. They start talking shit. They're like, yeah, we're veterans of this Fight Club thing. McCarthy's been here a bunch. He knows what to do. That's why we're going to win. We always win. And all of a sudden, Trubisky stands up. And he hasn't been drinking. He's just been pouring his beers out. He just goes and kicks Rudolph right in the face. And Rudolph's knocked out because he was already drunk. And then both Saleh and Trubisky hold Mike McCarthy down, and it takes all four of their hands to get around his neck. But they slowly choke him out until both of them are knocked out, and Robert Saleh and Mitch Trubisky would move through.
Wow. It's like Beer Fest meets Fight Club meets the Fockers. I don't know. I like it though. So
yeah, those dummies thought they could change the rules and backfired on them.
Well, that shit happens. You mess with the Fight Club messes with you back. All right, and then let's get in to this last fight, shall we? Bring up the graphic. Oh, it's Sean Payton. It's Jarrett Stidham versus Aaron Glenn Cade Klubnik. My goodness, this one should be an interesting one, right? Because you have the Sith Lord Sean Payton and his devil magic, with just generic looking Jarrett Stidham against what might be the future Jarrett Stidham and Cade Klubnik. He's a guy that exists, guys. He's real. He's a real quarterback. He wasn't very good in Clemson, but he somehow made it to the league. Now, for those of you who remember my scenario, you will remember that Cade Klubnik came in clutch for Aaron Glenn as he kind of just blended into the background. So, will he be able to do the same thing again? There's only one way to find out, I was thinking about this, Patrick. I think we're doing a snake pattern, so that would mean you would start this off and I'll finish.
Yeah.
So let's have you do that, and we'll go from there. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, for sure. So Sean Payton's just smoking it up in the locker room as he does, as he will. And he's like, oh shit, I forgot. Gotta go do that fucking fight thing. Jarrett, let's go. And Jarrett, he's gotten dressed. He's in his nice little cowboy hat and his jacket here. And then he's like, all right, coach, I'll see. I'll help you out. And they go out midfield, and Aaron Glenn and Cade Klubnik are already out there. Glenn's just having Klubnik run suicides from sideline to sideline while they wait. Because first and foremost, he is a football coach. And then something happens where Cade Klubnik looks up and his eyes meet Jarrett Stidham's eyes in that cowboy hat and cute jacket. And immediately they run to each other and they take each other by the hand and they just leave. They're in love. They're going to go get married somewhere. They don't want to. So now you got Sean Payton and Aaron Glenn left on the field, and Sean Payton can't believe what he just saw. He's screaming all kinds of terrible things. He's pissed off. And Aaron Glenn just casually walks up behind Sean Payton, pulls a knife out, and mercifully slits his throat.
Shit.
And then Cade Klubnik comes running back in laughing. And then Coach Glenn's like, how'd it go? And Cade Klubnik's like, he bought it the whole time, Coach. He's I just told him it's over, and he went and killed himself. And so Aaron Glenn and Cade Klubnik win in a fight that I wish I hadn't to come up with in my head.
All right. Interesting. Okay. Well, this is how I think the fight would go. So, we are in Mile High Stadium. The Broncos have just have just beaten the Jets because the Jets are not very good. They won't be very good anytime soon. Aaron Glenn, calm but heated at the same time. He understands his team isn't up to snuff, but he is. He's ready. He's going to make all the preparations necessary to toughen them up and get them to buy into the program. And he starts with Cade Klubnik. He says, Cade, what's about to happen out there in this fight, it's going to change you. This isn't like the last one. This time, it's you and me against him. He's like, well, what about Jarrett Stidham? Aaron Glenn says, what about Jarrett Stidham? Jarrett Stidham is standing 5 feet away, and he's like, hey, man, you know I'm standing right here. He's like, what the fuck are you doing over here? Go over there. Go over there. Aaron Glenn's just like, skedaddle. Just go. Shoot. Jarrett Stidham with his head down. He's like, man. And Jarrett Stidham, he's like, I don't want to talk to Sean Payton. That guy's weird. He's kind of creepy, and I'm pretty sure he's doing some weird voodoo shit. And as he is talking to himself, muttering, he steps on to this evil magic circle that Sean Payton has been preparing. Sean Payton takes a rip of his bong that has some horrible, terrible voodoo juices in there, expels it out, and says some weird incantation. Jarrett Stidham's like, what the fuck? Ah! And then you just see the life force, the vitality exit out of Jarrett Stidham and absorbed into Sean Payton. Sean Payton becomes young again. It's almost like a primetime rewind for our OG Head Coach Fight Club watchers. That was good, Sean Payton says. Yeah, I didn't need him. I don't need any of these chumps. I'm the greatest gift to coaching God's ever given this green earth. Aaron Glenn's like, you're no creature of God. And so he grabs a football, hands it over to Cade, says, Cade, you know what to do. Cade steps back, throws the football, and there it is. Sean Payton uses his magic, holds the ball in the air. He's like, what did you think you were going to do with that? And Aaron Glenn says, this. Oh, dick twist. That is right. Just grabs him in the cock. Just twists that thing. Sean Payton's like, oh shit. And Aaron Glenn headbutts him. Bah. Sean Payton's like, oh fuck, this is dirty. This is low. Oh, I'm so proud. Oh, if you're one of the guys, I'd be so proud. And then Cade Klubnik comes in with a baseball bat, doused in holy water, and just starts swinging away at the neck of Sean Payton. And with each hit, just And Aaron Glenn reaches into his back pocket. He has a little bit of holy water and cyanide and just forces that right into Sean Payton. Sean Payton just starts melting from the inside. I'm melting. And the vitality that he stole from Jarrett Stidham returns into Jarrett Stidham's body. Jarrett Stidham wakes back up, only getting knocked out with the same baseball bat by Cade Klubnik. Bah! Knocked out again. Aaron Glenn, Cade Klubnik, they advance the next round of the Fight Club.
Wow. Well, we almost wrapped up the whole AFC there. We will need an offline tiebreak from Bethke, which we'll have for you guys. But yeah, so far, Andy Reid, Robert Saleh, and Aaron Glenn all fighting on. They will be part of the final 8. Now I need to put that last fight in here.
The Elite 8, if you will.
Where is old Sean? And then I just got to do a quick little sort. By win percentage. And let's look at how everyone who fought today has progressed throughout their careers. So we'll start. Obviously, Zach Taylor and D'Amico Ryans, we don't know yet. They're still up in the air. Then the next one we did was Andy Reid and Joe Brady. So this is Joe Brady's first loss, only in his second fight. So he drops from being as one of the best of all time to kind of middle of the pack now, if you will. Only in 2 fights still, but 1-1. Which means Andy Reid, he bumps up to 6-4, 60% win in 10 fights. You know, he's tied currently with D'Amico Ryans.
Nice.
And just behind Dan Campbell, Robert Saleh, who we'll get to in a second, and Mike Tomlin. Elsewhere. So yeah, next fight actually was Robert Saleh. So he's now 6-3. He's the 11th winningest coach, and if you don't count Mike LaFleur's 1-0, he is the 10th winningest coach so far in the Head Coach Fight Club. So that's fun. And he beat old Mike McCarthy, who falls down below 500, I believe. 4-5 now. He's sitting in between, he's sitting in between Schottenheimer and Dable.
Oh shit! All right. Well, listen. The fat guys, they have their matchups, right? But sometimes their size comes at a disadvantage to them. So that's all I can say about that.
And then our last 2 competitors, it was Sean Payton. He falls now to 1-4 all time. As far as anyone with more than 2 fights, he's about as far down as you can get at 20%. Hey, some people just don't got the juice. And he was beaten by old Aaron Glenn, who is now 3-1 all time. Surprisingly, I think he would be number 7 if you don't count the 1-0 Mike LaFleur.
Which I don't.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure there's some formula that I could put in here that would tell it to not count by a number of fights or something, but I'm just too lazy. But yeah, I mean, in terms of current competitors, because Arthur Smith no longer in the league. Is Pete Carroll's out? Is Raheem Morris out also?
Yes, he is not a. Yeah, he's not.
Ron Rivera, Bill Belichick, obviously out. And then Antonio Pierce is out. So Aaron Glenn is the highest ranked current fighter, with Dan Campbell behind him by a couple percentage points, but with like 8 more fights to his name. So yeah, and some heavy hitters. Pretty much everyone who's left is a heavy hitter, or they are Mike LaFleur.
Interesting. It's interesting how that works out. And it's what's even more interesting about Aaron Glenn specifically. I mean, he is a former player himself, but he's not like Dan Campbell or D'Amico Ryans. He's a former cornerback. So yeah, he's got a lot of dog in him. Like he did in his playing days, and that's what's helping him advance, I feel. In this year's tournament
matchups,
but, we'll see how far that'll. Yeah, matchups make fights as well, right? Or styles make fights. These matchups, same thing. It really does kind of determine. And there is no like, are you guys setting up certain people? No, This one was all seeding. So it's just how the cookie crumbled. Now, this isn't like the
putting it together in my head though, because you're like, all right, the top seeded in like just say like the AFC East, and I'm like, well, I guess Mike Vrabel. Oh wait, no, he's not a top seed. He'd been a top seed if we were ranking fighters, but not.
Yeah. No, we're sorry. I guess I should have said like in the division.
No, we already said that at the beginning, like before we even started. Like that's how we were doing the fights from round one. It's just in my head. I still have to like switch those two things in my brain when I'm thinking about it.
Fair enough. Well, yeah. So it's all seeding now. Well, we'll determine what the matchups look like after we're finished with the NFC. But it's for you guys to find out. So you have to stay tuned next week and the week after as we get closer and closer to crowning the next head coach Fight Club champion tag team edition, baby.
Boom, 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 boom.
Send it home.
I've learned a very, very valuable lesson. You don't fuck around and find out.